Hi there, Chad here from Chibi AI, and in this video, can I show you something just really cool? This is the thing that really makes Chibi special, and it's something that you cannot do in any other AI writing app. And I think many who see Chibi at first maybe don't really realize this, but this is super cool. So first, I'm just going to have Chibi generate just sort of a long passage, because what I want to do in this video is show you how to create your own AI tools and the reason why that's awesome. So here we go. Let's let Chibi just kind of give us a whole bunch of content that is obviously too much, and we don't want it to say all that and all that fluffiness, right? So it didn't finish, so we have a cool little button here in Chibi that lets us finish the current sentence. And then what I'm going to do is just select all this. I'm going to go here, I'm going to click on brevity, and it's going to shorten it. And it's going to write it in a better way. So this is just one tiny example. Just imagine this is just one tool in your toolkit. Now, this is going to be a preset that we're going to offer you. It's not released yet by the time of the recording of this video. Maybe by the time that you're watching this video, it is already out. But the goal here is to show you how we built that brevity action and how you can use this same concept to create pretty much any tool that you need. If you have a favorite prompt that you have, you can turn that into a tool, into an action that we call it. And then you'll be able to reuse that over and over again any way you want in a single click, and it'll be amazing. You can imagine when you've got a whole toolkit of your own tools designed to do exactly what you need for your type of workflow and how you like to write. And so let me just show you real quick. Let's go into actions here. And I have experiments. I'm going to open experiments. I'm going to click create new, and I'm going to say new brevity, because we're starting this from scratch, and we'll go from here. So what I want to do is I want to add a stream prompt type of task. And what this is going to do is it uses AI, it does some stuff, and it streams the results into the document. Just like you saw right here a moment ago, it rewrote all that stuff in kind of shorter, more brief fashion, right? Actually, let's go ahead and undo this so that we have that full text there again. And we're going to go into here, and what I'm going to do is I've got some stuff already pre-written so that we're not trying to, watch me type everything. And what I'll do is I'll come over here and I'll paste in this. You're an expert in concise writing. I'm sorry, I want to change this a little bit. Your task is to shorten. Let's just do this. Let's change this to shorten the text, the given text, while preserving its core message. Now we need to give it text. So what text are we working with? Well, in the case of you just saw in this demo, we're working with a selection. So I'm going to click right here and I'm going to click selection. Now let's give it a label to tell the AI what it is. Notice up here we're saying shorten the given text. So let's just label it given text. And what we're going to do is give it a trailing label and say shortened version. We'll just leave it like that. So that's essentially where the AI is going to take over and finish the writing process. And we want the shortened version to be written. And yep, there we go. So this is a very simple prompt. I'm going to show you later. We'll be adjusting it to make it work even better. But there's a little bit more that we can do inside of Chibi that makes this really special. So I'm going to go into the settings here. This is the settings for this particular task, which is one step in action. Notice how we've got this, but I can add more. We don't need it for this particular case, but we can add more. We can have a chain of prompts that can happen to create some really interesting results. And if you need that for your toolkit, you can do it in Chibi, no problem. So I'm just going to remove this one for now. Let's go into the settings here real quick, and let's just go straight to the bottom so that we can write down what we're doing here. And we're going to just write into here something like condense, like we've already got the word condense in our pop-up here. And we'll say shortened text. This is just to let it, so like we got, if I roll this up, we can see that condense is what's here instead of stream prompt. That is very helpful for, especially if you're starting to create, you start mastering the whole concept of these actions inside of Chibi, and you want to know what's going on at a glance by naming your tasks. Then we can see what's going on in them, right? We know that this is going to be condensing it. Now this task is this action is relatively simple, so it's only going to have really one step here. So we don't necessarily have to do it, but it's a good habit to get into. Back in settings, we're going to go into the AI settings here and we're going to choose custom. This lets us set up the AI on this particular task directly. And it gives us the ability to choose what AI model that we're going to use. In this case, I'm going to use the Llama 3.2 90 billion. You have the ability, I'll go down here real quick. You have the ability to use any number of models. In fact, you can just click here to go to new models and we can add from a list of hundreds of models. In fact, these are some new models that were just recently released, and you can add them and use them and as much as you like, and there's no limit to the number of models that you can add to your account to use. If you want to use Cohere models, Anthropic Claude models, OpenAI models, a whole bunch of open source models, you can do that. Just add them to your account once and then they'll be available to you here. Like I've got a bunch of them set up already. But for now, we're going to pick the Llama 3.2 90 billion, and then we're going to go in here into instructions. Now, this is the default set that's loaded when you first switch over to custom settings. Let's remove that, and I've got a few more here that I'm going to just paste in here. Yeah, here. So it says you are a highly skilled editor specializing in concise writing. Your task is to shorten the given text while preserving its core message, tone, and style. Focus on removing unnecessary words, simplifying complex sentences, and maintaining the author's voice. Do not add new information or change the meaning of the text, and provide only the shortened version without explanations or comments. So we're just telling the AI how to act, essentially, right? We're giving it a role, or we're giving it a persona, sometimes you might say. This is how we want our AI to act when we're doing when it runs our prompt. This is our prompt. And this is our role, essentially, but it's the role of this particular task only, not used anywhere else inside of Chibi. And we're just setting it up here specifically so that this task acts this way every time it runs. So back into here, let's go into our AI controls. Let's reduce this here a little bit so that the AI is more strict in following what our prompts are. Let's raise up the max here just in case we decide to select quite a bit of text, and we want to make sure that it has the ability to write all of it out. Let's switch the top P to the max, and we'll leave everything else as is. That makes us done here in the settings area. And we've got our prompt here. Just really quick, go over it again. Shorten the given text while preserving its core message. That's our prompt, a very simple one. And I'll show you us making this more powerful in a moment. Given text, we tell it we want to use the selection, and then the shortened version comes out. There's going to be something that happens when we run this, but what I want to show you is, let's say that we select this one here. In fact, let's just put a new line, a horizontal rule under this so that we can go here and we'll run this now. The way that we run our action that's opening here inside of the editor, we can just hit this play button up here. We'll run this and it'll rewrite. Notice how it just completely replaced it and everything. And then it dropped down a new line. Now, if you don't want that behavior, one of the things you can do is you can go back into your settings here, and instead of in the AI settings, we have these other settings here too. So insert or append text, let's say that we don't want it to overwrite it. We want it to actually put it down below so that we can compare and maybe adjust and do our own thing with it. We can do this, and if we don't want it to add a new line after, we can turn that off as well. Now we can come back up here, let's undo that rewrite, and let's run this again. And now it goes down and it'll rewrite that instead of being right there and replacing it. So now what we can do, if this is your preference, is you can read this, compare, and if you want to keep this one, you can delete this, or if you want to maybe write your own that's maybe a mixture of these, you can do that as well. And if you step back here for a second, essentially what we have now is a tool that condenses text at the click of a button. Now, I know that a lot of AI tools have that, but what makes this one special now is you're not just completely reliant on whatever it is that other tool is doing, right? In another app, it's just a condense button or something that you click, and then there's no adjustment that you can do, right? It's just you click it, and that's all it is. You're pretty much, you have to let it do what it's going to do, and there's no room for adjustment, right? In our case, though, this is your tool. Like you've built it for yourself. You've chosen the AI model. You've been able to set the settings. You can tell the AI how to act. Those all give you tons of control, but also you have full control over the prompt that is being used. In this case, it's just a very simple shorten, but we can do better, right? In fact, one of the things you can do is you can start with this simple one and you can start tweaking it and changing it to better fit as you experiment and you're not quite getting what you want, you can keep tweaking and making changes to it, and eventually you end up with the perfect condensing tool just for your needs. And nobody else will have that ability because you built it for yourself. And that's super cool. So what might be some things that you would do to this in order to improve it? Well, how about giving the AI some instructions? So I'll copy in some more stuff here. And what I'll do is we'll put it down here and we'll add some instructions. So it's identify the main area and the essential details, remove the unnecessary words and phrases, use shorter synonyms maybe, maintain the original tone and key terminology because we don't want it to kind of start really changing up the paragraph or whatever passage of text that we select, right? And ensure that the output is grammatically correct. You wouldn't want it to accidentally introduce, grammar errors if you want to make sure that it doesn't. And we want to try and aim for a 50% reduction in length or a different percentage, whatever your percentage is. You could probably change that up however you see fit. If you want a condensing tool that can make it even shorter, you can do that. Just however you feel that you need a tool to act for you, set it up your way. In fact, you can make copies of this. What we could do here is we can take this and we can just click this copy task button and we come up here to the import task. We click that. Now we've got a copy of this. We can turn this one off and we can make changes to this and tweak it up how we want. We can run and test and be like, maybe I don't quite like this one. You can turn this one off, turn this one on, and you can just work back and forth until you find the one that you prefer. And then you can be like, okay, don't need that one anymore. We're working with this one. It works out perfect. Good to go. And just, you have all these tools available to just do that kind of really cool stuff. You can just imagine now that you've seen this in action. Imagine when you've got a whole toolkit of these that are just tools that you've built for yourself that do things to the text how you like. It's just a really great feature. It's weird to me that this is the only tool on the whole internet that has this ability to do this, so where you can essentially make it yours, and it's just so powerful. But we've made those changes, and so let's see how it acts. Let's go ahead and save this, and let's take this one again. And did we undo it? Let's make sure that we undid everything here. All right, here we go. So let's take these two passages. Let's run it off of this. Let's run this. It goes down a line, and we should get rewritten of 2 paragraphs. There we go. So it's been rewritten, and we have this selection. So it's 124 words original, and how many do we end up with? 75. So pretty close to half. And the way that it's designed is it's going to make sure it doesn't have any grammatical errors and all these other things that we identified in the instructions. And then there's the added benefit too here. If I just want to talk about the models here real quick. We're using Llama 3.2 90 billion, and that is such a cheap model. The cost of the tokens to run this are just minimal. And in Chibi AI, what you'll do is when you join us, you're going to go to a service called OpenRouter. They're a very reputable service, very awesome. They provide some great capabilities for us. But what you'll do is you'll create an account with OpenRouter. It's totally free to create that. And after you do that, there's a place where you can copy your API key. Just copy that, give it to Chibi, and what'll happen is all these tokens and everything are being generated between you and OpenRouter, and Chibi's not touching them. We're not doing anything on our end to charge you for tokens. Like a lot of AI apps out there will be charging you a premium. And I know that sounds like a bit of a technical step or a hurdle to get over, but trust me, it's so easy. You can literally go to OpenRouter, click on the button to connect your Google account. You'll have an account instantly. And then from there, you just charge, it'll chart if you want to set up some credits. You just give it your credit card or something. It's one-time charges. They don't have a subscription fee or anything. Just give it a little bit of money so it has some credits in the OpenRouter system to use. And then copy your API key into Chibi and you're just off to the races. I know it's, like I said, it sounds convoluted. Maybe it might sound a little too technical for you if you're not a technical person. But trust me, once you've got it set up, it's so easy. You can track all of your token usage. You can see what AI models you're using. You get access to all the latest state-of-the-art models, the open source models. I know that sounds like a lot if you're not in the AI space, but what it essentially gives you is anytime there's these drastic improvements in AI, you automatically gain that benefit when you're a Chibi user. You don't have to go out and be like, oh, I need to cancel my ChatGPT subscription. I need to join the Claude subscription because Claude came out with their cool thing, and then OpenAI comes out with their new cool thing. Oh, now I got to cancel Claude so I can go and get my ChatGPT subscription. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It's all available to you right here inside of Chibi. And not only that, as you saw, you have the ability to build your own tools. These are just so cool. So I hope you'll give Chibi a try. If you're not a member, if you're not a user of Chibi yet, what you can do is just connect right now, and you'll get 3 days of free trial. Just add your OpenRouter key, start using Chibi for 3 days, totally free. And if you like what you see, then we even offer you a special deal. If you join or subscribe within those 3 days of that trial, if you make a quick decision and you want to be with us, we'll be glad to offer you a 25% discount on your subscription. And I hope you'll give us a try. And if you find this all interesting and you have some questions, feel free to comment below or even connect up to our Discord or anything, and we'll help you out. And until next time, take care.